Hello YouTube, this is Tyrell Mares. Today I want to talk to you about the wildfire season that's going to be coming in the summer. Um, Here in Colorado, it's been warming up quite a bit. It's in the 60s, and it's going to be in the 60s all in next week. That's from all the forecasts that I've seen so far. And with that, with the warmer temperatures and the snow melting and everything like that, and no more really projected precipitation in the forecast, I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that winter's almost over, and that spring's going to be here fairly soon. With that being said, um, I kind of want to bring up the topic of being fire wise and fire mitigation for your property. Um, with being firewise, it's just kind of understanding about the landscape, and what you understand, fire on the landscape, to a point that you're cognizant, you're aware of, the steps that you need to take, to protect your property, to protect your resources, businesses, so on and so forth. And that plays into the idea of fire mitigation, which is more of a physical approach of doing things. It's a physical process of where you actually take steps to mitigate the fuels around your home to lessen the risk of loss of property, for your private property. Um, there's so many resources out there too. There's plenty of resources with your state forestry agency, as well as the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management. Even some private forestry companies have resources, and they're all pretty good resources. And I'd like to encourage you to check them out. Because to be honest with you, I can make a whole video about this, but the thing is that you don't want I don't want to just be one voice and one person for everybody, because I believe that the more input somebody has, the better idea they're going to have of something. And it's going to, if they're having multiple sources saying the same thing, that, because I might, because I have a pretty strong awareness with this, being, currently studying forestry, mostly doing the prereqs right now, as well as my time as a volunteer firefighter, as a Forest Service employee, all the time I grew up in the mountains in New Mexico, being a lifelong outdoorsman, being really gung-ho from the start, as far as I can remember, about forestry and nature and everything like that. And it's an interest that I've always had, and I've always built upon it and all that. But, to be honest with you guys, I don't consider myself an expert when it comes to fire, because I've talked to plenty of guys that have 20 years plus in the wildland firefighting world, and they're still saying that they're learning things. And and that's the thing, is you can't expect to know everything overnight, or within a couple of years, and that's the thing. A lot of it's experience, and experience, you know, is is priceless. It's priceless. And you got companies and agencies out there that they have that experience. I got you know a lot of experience too, but I don't have the over 100 years of experience that the Forest Service does, or the over you know 80 plus, over 80 years that the BLM has, you know or the 50, 60, 70 of a lot of these state forestry agencies, depending on what state you live in. And I just want to bring up the topic. I can, say some things like, creating the defensive space, uh, reducing the fuels around your home, uh, removing flammable material like firewood away from the structure, trimming trees, trimming brush back, mowing down the grass, just doing stuff like that. You know, maybe incorporate some xeriscaping. You can get pretty creative with it, and it adds you know uh, improves, I guess you can say, the landscaping component of your property. It makes a nice landscape. If you like do like the fancy xeriscaping and stuff, and I've done that, for people and everything like that. But you can get really creative with things, with the fire mitigation. But even with all that creativity, I like to just mention, just never forget the key fundamentals of defensible space, being firewise and everything like that. And I have a lot of concern with this issue because for the past couple of years, being here in Colorado. Well, I've been here in Colorado since '08. Thanks to the Army. That's probably why you're wondering what this goofy logo is, and that's from basic NAIT training. I was infantry in the Army. They call it OSA, One Station Unit Training. But anyhow, moving on. Going back to Colorado, here, I've been here since '08. And in that time, I've seen a lot of fires, kind of spring up here and there, but not so, but it's kind of gotten really significant over the past couple of years. With that being said, Waldo Canyon fire was back in 2012. I was still in back then. um, and the thing is that there's a lot of loss of life and loss a lot of property. My unit almost, got called out to go on the fire. And I was active duty. That's just the nature of it. Because the state agencies have to exhaust all their resources before they call in National Guard, and National Guard has to exhaust all their resources before they call in active duty. And I mean, it's kind of at that point where people were just exhausting resources left and right. Air Force got involved, National Guard got involved, even active duty Army got involved. I didn't get, my unit didn't get called out, but still. And then last year, or just 2013, we had the Black Forest fire, and that also resulted in significant loss of life. Or loss of property, and yeah, actually did result in loss of life, just like the Waldo Canyon fire did. And it's really unfortunate. It sucks. And it's a big issue because um, wildfires has just always been something that's kind of struck a chord with me, just because of where my experiences of having the rodeo Cheskai fire at our back door. When I was still in middle school. Back in 2002. We still had it was just just not a big deal, and all the Forest Service is concerned about the fuels and stuff, because years prior to that, a decade prior to that, logging collapsed in the area of New Mexico and Arizona. And I can get really political about it, because the spotted owl and everything, and the injunctions by special interest groups that were filed and stuff like that. But and yeah, it all upsets me, because without that active forest management component of logging, it did a lot of harm, But I mean, you can't change the past. All you can do is work on the present, and so that you have a better future. And that's kind of why I advocate things so much. It's because I saw a lot of loss with multiple fires over the years. Bear Wallow fire. A lot of resources were pretty lost. Not so much as private property, but the Rodeo Cheskai fire was significant. Almost 500 homes lost. Wallow fire was pretty significant. There was 36 homes lost. And with that, contrast with the Rodeo Chesky fire and the wildfire. They were both, they're both large fires, but wildfire was almost 70,000 acres, about 70,000 acres larger, and you know, at 538,000 acres. Versus the 468,000 that the Rodeo Chesky fire was. I mean, that's kind of a victory in itself, but it still sucks that but it's a bittersweet victory because there's not as many homes lost, but at the same time there's still homes lost. Then there's Whitewater Baldy Complex fire uh, that burnt in 2012 as well, same year as the Waldo Canyon fire. That was back home in the Gila, and then this past year, 2013, the Silver Fire. A lot of people that I know, were in a number of people I know that were impacted, and they're actually running a risk of, being threatened by it. And it's just something that I just don't like because growing up in the Gila, I've seen time after time, and like Quail Ridge Fire. That's a prime example. And that went on in my hometown. The Quail Ridge Fire. That is really significant because you know destroyed multiple homes, and I knew some of those people that lost their homes, and it sucks. And a lot of and I know people that and some people are my friends, and I just don't like seeing people suffer like that. And especially if I can so help it. Like, I try to, because I believe that forestry, the subject of forestry is just, it's always been something that's come naturally to me. And it's always been something that I've been interested in. I kind of see it as a way, as like this way, it's like my talent. It's my talent, my God-given talent, if you will. It's my natural talent. It's just something that I'm good at, and I believe that you should utilize natural talents to the best, to benefit other people, to help other people. Because a lot of people have helped me in life, and so happens a number of those people have also been impacted by some kind of fire issue, some kind of forestry issue, grazing issue, and that's kind of why I get really involved and in depth with these things. Have it be wildlife management, wolves, fire, forestry, yada yada yada. Um, I just I have to I just put a big emphasis on it, because I try to help. I want to help people, and like they've helped me, and I don't like to see people suffer. Um, and it just aggravates me that a lot of the politics that goes on around with the wildfire situation, forestry, and stuff like that. And I can go into a big deal about it, but the thing is that politics at the end of the day don't really matter. Because what does matter is people's property and people's lives and people's livelihoods. And it's a shame that it has to come down to politics to get all that. But to um, fight for that, it has to be political in order to maintain the livelihoods of loggers and ranchers, or sportsmen, or um, you know fire policy, that affects people. I mean, fire is probably one of the most significant events that can happen to anybody here in the West. I mean, it's crazy, and I can talk about it, and how political it can get, but the thing is that there are good resources out there to just square away what you need to do, with preserving your home, because that's step number one. You want to provide for your home, home's protection. You want to protect your property. You want to provide for your family. And a lot of, and I think you guys see where I'm going with this. And and that's just the big thing about it, is that there's just plenty of resources out there for you to utilize. So I mean, I encourage all of you guys to check those resources out and just take advantage of them. You know, um, and once again, I would like to just mention to you guys that I appreciate you guys watching this video, subscribing, to my channel, and I would like to keep making more videos and expand and maybe try to share some of what I know with you guys and to help benefit you guys. Um, the exigency or purpose of a lot of videos. I mean, there's kind of a lot of them are just on the fly. You know, I try to make videos that are relevant to a lot of things in a given point of time. If not, just like always. I mean, I just I like to try to just be relevant with my videos. I like to be real, and and I understand if people have different perceptions and and stuff like that, and everything like that. And I would have like to encourage my subscribers to maybe provide me some feedback via private message, maybe even comment below. Just kind of give me an idea. Because to be honest with you, I'm still fairly new with the whole YouTube thing. But I would also like to improve the feedback, see what I can, do for you guys to help, maybe share information that you guys don't know, stuff like that. And I would like to just mention, there's a lot of people out there that have great resources, just a lot of, whatever, in this subject matter as well. Um, there's a number of resources out there, outside of YouTube, outside of the internet, as well as both. And like I said before, I just encourage you guys to use those resources and just make be firewise, be prepared, and just do what and just watch out for your family, and watch out for and take care of your property, because Um, I believe that's what we should all do, is, we should all take care of our bases. And that's family, and, family first, and then property second, and stuff like that. But you want to have a good place for family to live. So, so it's kind of, having to do that. And, um, just making sure that you're taking care of square one. And I would also like to mention that I hope to have more videos out in the future. And I once again appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the people that watch my videos. And people that have subscribed. And I hope to see more of you guys in the future. And I hope that this video has been somewhat helpful to you guys in some shape or form. And I hope that you guys, just you guys are prepared, and you guys, you know, uh, just have that, just kind of maybe just think about a little bit about what I've said, just because, I don't like I said before, I don't like to see people suffer. I don't like to see people, lose property, you know, to something as, something like a wildfire, because ultimately, wildfire will happen. Um, you know, eventually, that's just I guess that's just the nature of nature. But but a lot of the things behind property loss and stuff like that is preventable and stuff. And I understand that there are some situations where property, cannot be safe. But if you can, if you put in the effort and the time to mitigate the risk, then the rewards will pay off. and or more likely to pay off. And I just like to leave you guys with that. Well, once again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys soon.